What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Don. We are back with the FIFA review like I said I would. We are finally here with part 2 of the FIFA review. I know you guys have been waiting on this one for a long time, so without further ado, I think it's time to really dive into everything from the journey to Ultimate Team, the tournaments, kickoff, career mode, skill games. It is time to dissect everything, and we're gonna go one by one. So it will be a two-part video. So definitely stay tuned for everything and watch every minute. You don't want to miss this review. This review will decide whether you should buy this game for the holiday season. It's important to note that I am a skilled professional at this game, as EA Sports says. Look right there, it says that I have mastered world class and I should play legendary. Just for that alone, I think I deserve a like for this video, because that means that I am qualified to speak on FIFA. So let's get it, man. Let's get into the video. What do we have? We have almost every league in the world, with the exception of a few. But at this point in FIFA, if your league that you want to see is not in the game, it probably isn't a big league to begin with. So most of the time, EA Sports is not going to bother with adding those teams and those clubs into the game, because the majority of people only play the 6 or 7 major leagues from Germany, Spain, England, France, Italy, maybe even some of the South American leagues. And most people really play that. So over the years, I do believe that EA has done a pretty good job of trying to add most of the leagues that we want to see. It wasn't always like that. Back in the day when you had like FIFA 2002, 2003, most of the leagues weren't even licensed, not even English. I can go back even further than that. FIFA 99 and stuff like that. Most of the teams weren't even licensed teams besides Manchester United and stuff like that. So they definitely came a long way from what FIFA was before to what it is now. It's a little bit ridiculous. Some of the things were definitely integrated from different sports games, but that's okay, because if it makes for a better game at the end of it, that's all that you want. So let's dive into it. The first thing I'm gonna dive into is the ball mechanics, because I kind of one of the first things that I noticed when I first started playing this game is that the ball swerves completely different. So I took a couple of shots with Cristiano Ronaldo just to give you guys an example of what's going on with the ball. As you can see, I'm with Cristiano Ronaldo in the arena. My first shot, it goes in, but look how the ball swerves every time Ronaldo shoots. Every time he shoots, there's like a weird curve onto it. I think that's definitely new. It wasn't like that last year. Most of the shots were actually straight on, not with a curve. As I also dive into dribbling right away, left to right, easy shot with a finesse. The best person to show dribbling with though is Messi. I think he's the best dribbler in the game, even though Ronaldo is the cover boy. I just think that if you look at the way Messi dribbles here, from left to right, he always keeps the ball though. That's also important. Most of the time this year, if you have a good dribbler, you can actually shield the ball from most of your defenders by being at the right angle. And I get my shot off. I miss, but the important part is that you see the dribble moves that Messi has. Even here, I cut back. Now all my defenders are gone and I have space to shoot. It was a lot different last year. I don't think last year you would have had that type of opportunity. Every time this year the ball comes to a dribbler, this is De La Feu. He comes here, and I cut back again, and you're able to create space this year to completely beat your defender. Is it the best piece of defending? No, but it's also good offense, because you realize, well, me in this instance, I realize where to go with the ball. And if you know that, you usually end up with stuff like this. They actually found me in the box here, Real Madrid. And yes, not only is it a penalty, it's actually a good opportunity to show you the new penalty system as we move on from this little segment. This year, penalties are really different. It's no longer that crazy aiming meter. It starts with circle. You hit circle first, then you aim, and then you'll shoot. And the bar is actually more adjusted. As you can see, I aimed right. This time I scored. You can actually miss a lot of these, because I guess they figured out that the actual ball meter where you aim the shots were missing, so they were actually trying to adjust that this year. They did a better job. I still think it needs work, but hey, let's move on from that. In conclusion, what's dribbling about? Dribbling is probably the best feature this year. Dribbling and passing for me, they received solid A pluses. As you can see, I have Mkhitaryan here in the little skill game. Once you realize which way you gotta go, most of the time the computer won't be able to figure out where you're going, because you've realized, look, for example, right there, I cut off the angle, and every time you cut off the angle on the computer, most of the time you'll win. Of course, human players are different, but it's always good to practice against the AI. I play on legendary difficulty for a reason, because you kind of get a real sense of the game, where you want to move left to right. I will make more videos on this, on how to dribble and how to shoot. No worries about that, but just for review purposes, I think dribbling is very solid this year. Definitely a step up from last year. It seems to be more realistic than what it was before, and I think this is probably the best it's going to get. So let's move on from that. First thing I will show you here is a shot by Martial. He missed, but the important part is I wanted to teach you guys shot power, because this time I was close to the goal and I missed. But there's going to be a lot of goals that I'm going to show you that are in all different types of variety for a reason, so that you can kind of understand how shooting has changed. Shooting this year, it's not as good as it could be. I think some of the shots are completely overpowered, partially to do with the swerve here, as you see the goal by Mkhitaryan, and also part is just that the goalkeepers are just not that good this year. But we will get to that later on. Back to the actual shooting portion of it. Shooting this year, it depends. It depends how you shoot and where you are on the pitch. Certain goals look amazing. Sorry, amazing accent coming out. Certain goals look amazing, and other goals just look straight up ridiculous. It's weird. It's weird. It depends what you get. As you can see here, this is gonna be a goal by actually Mata. Mata is gonna score this. I fake him here, but see, look. He missed right there, but I didn't use the power bar that much. But most of the time you can score those type of goals. Yes, Mata gets the goal here, but it's important to note that if you saw the first shot by him, if you just rewind that in the video, he actually didn't use a lot of power to beat the goalkeeper. That's what I'm talking about sometimes, that you don't need a lot of power to really beat the keeper. So it's weird. It's inconsistent, with certain goals looking amazing, and then you have other goals that require more finesse, like the next clip that I'm going to show you. Certain goals are better if they're finesse shots than they are power shots, because for some reason the game it doesn't feel as balanced as it could be when it comes to shooting. I think that for next year they need to really adjust this. I'm going to show you a finesse shot goal with Rashford, so you can kind of get a sense of what I mean. Look, I'm in the box here. I scored this goal, but this goal was actually not just circle. This was R1. Finesse. It was a finesse shot and it was a goal at the same time. Now, usually I would have missed that shot if I hit circle, but there's going to be a replay angle that I want you to focus on. Not this one, because you can't really see it from here, but the next replay you're going to see, look, it was an exact finesse inside of the foot off the post. That's the only way I could have scored that. So it's cool that they have a variety of different ways that you can score certain goals this year, but it doesn't feel as consistent as it could be, even though this is another finesse shot. Goalkeeper might have done a little bit better, but you know what? If you figure out shooting this year, you'll pretty much be unstoppable. So I feel like that's still a work in progress that they need to work on. Let's move on to passing. I use the best team in the game for passing on purpose. It's Barcelona. There's no better passing team than them. That's just their identity. And you're going to see passing is fluid and quick. It doesn't really matter where you are on the field. Most of your players are easy to reach. It might be overwhelming at first when you first start playing the game, because sometimes it's hard to figure out where your AI teammates are going in the beginning. But the more you play, you'll get used to it. Another example here, the field is very wide. Your teammates do try to open the field up for you so you know where to pass. I will make another video on this, kind of showcasing the best place to pass in the game, you know, so you have an idea of how to kind of beat your opponents just by doing different things. See, look, right now I still have not lost the ball. It's easy to keep the ball sometimes. The only thing is you'll lose the ball if you make the wrong pass at the wrong time. So knowing when to pass is often more important than what type of pass you're making, as long as it's open. See, I lost the ball there, but you're never far away from getting the ball back in this game. FIFA really focuses on possession. The more possession you have, the more chance you actually have in scoring. I'll showcase this again. Now this time, it was a through ball that got me through. And look, they can't get the ball away because my passing is constantly there. It's constantly to somebody. I constantly have somebody I can pass the ball to. Barcelona is the best example I can give you on how the players pass and move. Even though I lost the ball there, you gotta be careful too. You know, you can't just rely on it too much because the computer can get you, and often if you're not careful, it'll just finish right on you, no mercy. So it's important that you realize keeping possession in certain areas of the field is probably better than others. The more experience you get, though, it becomes easier. Passing. I'll give you another example here. This is Messi. As Messi moves forward, you make sure that you find somebody, and then move forward again. Look where Messi is. Messi is constantly moving. That's what you want. You want to hold L1 to pass around as you're building your attacks. This way, at least you have more help. Even though I didn't score there, you have more help in that scenario. And if everything goes well, this is what you want. Straight from your goalkeeper all the way into the other goal. This is what you want. It has to be a quick counter. Now look, I cut and I score. Never lost the ball once. This is how you want to really do it. We're coming towards the end of this video though. This is only the part 1. Stay tuned for part 2. I got so much more to discuss. I couldn't really make it all one video. Please like, comment, rate, and subscribe. This is your boy Donnie. We're going to be back next week with the part 2, so don't worry. I will see y'all next time, and I'm out. Peace.